Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and welcome back to my review of Speed. This is a 5-star collection DVD, which is a 2-disc. Which I like this DVD. I think it's a pretty good DVD. There's disc 1 with Keanu Reeves, disc 2 with Sandra Bullock. It has a booklet which has a bunch of information on it. And this has quite a few features. It has 2 commentary tracks, one with director Jan de Bont, the other with the producer Mark Gordon and writer Graham Yost. And then disc 2, you have a couple of extended scenes which aren't much, a couple featurettes, on location featurette, stunts featurette, visual effects featurette, bus jump featurette, Metro Rail crash featurette. You have an HBO making of from back in the day, which Dennis Hopper hosted, may he rest in peace, which is about almost half an hour long. You had some multi-angle stunt comparisons, storyboard the film comparisons. You had a couple of interviews from back in the day with Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, Dennis Hopper, Jeff Daniels, and Jan de Bont. You had the music video from Billy Idol, which is the song at the end credits. Speed, give me what I need. Yeah, grease lightning. You have the full-length screenplay that you can read. You got the trailer. You got TV spots, which I remember one of the TV spots having the music to Predator in it. I will say right off the bat, this is a if I stop stuttering, it's a really good DVD. I would like to see a new documentary on this film, though. I would like to see a new retrospective documentary because it'd be cool. Dennis Hopper's no longer with us, but Jan de Bont, Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, Jeff Daniels, Joel Morton, Alan Ruck, like the guys who were the passengers on the bus. I think it'd be great to see a new retrospective documentary. I mean, it is Speed. It's considered one of the best action movies of all time. I think it would be. It made sense to have a new retrospective documentary about the making of this film. You get the writer Graham Yost, Joss Whedon, who came in to do some rewrites and pretty much punch up the dialogue, which I give credit to him doing that. Producer Mark Gordon, which actually the writer Graham Yost and the producer Mark Gordon, those two went on to do Broken Arrow, which I really enjoy, and also Hard Rain, which I like Hard Rain. Now, Jan de Bont, the guy who directed this, is a guy who was a DP. He did cinematography for Die Hard, and this was his very first film. And the fact that this was his very first film, Jan de Bont, he knocked out of the park. This film, it was a critical hit. As you can see, 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up from Cisco and Ebert. Got like a 90-some percent, 93 or so percent of Rotten Tomatoes. The critics loved it. Audiences loved it. Gets a 7.7 on IMDb. A lot of people love Speed. I mean, like I said, it's considered one of the best action films of all time, and for good reason. It's an ingenious idea. I mean, come on. It's an idea where, okay, you have a bus. I know Graham Yost talked about how he had some of the inspiration was from a film called Runaway Train. And he thought that Runaway Train was about a bomb on the train, but instead they couldn't get to the brakes or something. And he thought, well, what if that train was a bus? And then what if the bus had a bomb and that's why it was a runaway? So when it gets to 50 miles an hour, it arms, the bomb arms. After that, if it goes below 50, it'll explode. So how do you keep a bus in a city with traffic and everything above 50 miles per hour? That's an ingenious concept. That's an idea that you go, man, why the fuck didn't anyone think of this before? And I would dare say an original concept. That's the concept that you don't hear. You didn't hear that many times, especially back then. This came out in 1994, and this is a film that surprised people when it came out because the big action film, especially for Fox, was it Fox who did that? I can't remember. I think so. True Lies, and I love True Lies, but no one expected Speed to be a hit. I mean, Keanu Reeves, okay, he did Point Break, and people remember him more from Bill and Ted, but Keanu Reeves and okay, Sandra Bullock. I know she was in that film Demolition Man, which is a great movie. But Sandra Bullock and this guy's a first-time director. Okay, you got Dennis Hopper's the bad guy. It's like, really? But everything worked about this film. And where to start with this? I mean, casting Keanu Reeves was a great idea. Apparently, there's a lot of people they went to, like Stephen Baldwin, which I'm like, well, I guess how people thought Keanu Reeves, like, really Keanu Reeves? I'm like, really Stephen Baldwin? But apparently, they went to like George Clooney, and they went to a lot of people for this. And I'm glad Keanu Reeves got it because I will say, after watching this, this is my favorite Keanu Reeves film. I love the Matrix films and the Bill and Ted films and Constantine, but I like Keanu Reeves. In every film, no, I don't think he did. He was that good in Bram Stoker's Dracula. I'm not a big fan of Point Break. I don't mind Chain Reaction, but I think this is his best film. It's my favorite film with him in it, and he did a great job as Jack Traven. And what's great about his character, I know Graham Yost, when he wrote it, Keanu Reeves wasn't sure to do the film because he's like, well, the script is too much like Die Hard. It's too much like the John McClane character. And apparently because Keanu Reeves had worked with some cops making Point Break, he's like, no, let's not have him quite like John McClane. So you see that the character is a little bit more, he has his cool, but you see like he's a bit more polite, meaning like he says ma'am. He keeps calling Sandra Bullock ma'am and mister, and he's always concerned about someone's safety first, especially the passengers on the bus. So you can tell on his mannerisms that I mean, you're not going to hear John McClane say ma'am. You're not going to hear John. I mean, there are some one-liners, but it's not quite a wise ass character. It's not quite the wisecracking character. He's much more very serious. It's like, ma'am, can you handle this? I'm serious, ma'am, can you handle this? Can you do this? Kind of man of business. And I thought Keanu Reeves made the right choice and say, well, wait a minute, let's not make him. And then that's where you had Jan de Bont coming in and punching up the dialogue and such. And I thought that worked out very well. That worked out very well. So Keanu Reeves' character is not just a John McClane clone. He's his own character. And I thought that was the right choice. And, you know, having the hair cut short, made sense. Get away from his Ted persona from Bill and Ted. Sandra Bullock was a great. I'm a big fan of Sandra Bullock. Uh, I know at one time they thought of Halle Berry for the part, and then, which weirdly enough, I think she wanted to do Executive Decision. What was that? Was it '96 or something? I can't remember what Executive Decision was. And then the original script, that character Sandra Bullock plays was not supposed to be a love interest. It was supposed to be like sort of the comic sidekick. So they were thinking of Ellen DeGeneres. Different movie, but I'm glad they went this way. I mean, I actually don't mind Ellen DeGeneres. I actually don't mind her. Not for this film, but I don't mind her in general. But, Sandra Bullock worked well, and Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock had great chemistry. I'll be honest, folks, I watched Speed 2 first just to get the shit out of the way, and then I did the review, so that review will be uploaded later. Because I know I got like one or two things in the Speed 2 review wrong talking about this, like when Dennis Hopper kills this guy. I said in the Speed 2 review that he does this, but no, he takes a screwdriver and does this. So one or two things I fucked up because I forgot. But you'll see the Speed 2 rant later, as if you thought I liked Speed 2. Gee, it's a rant? I'm surprised. And it's still weird, and I'll talk about it. You'll hear me talk about that. Cisco and Ebert gave Speed 2 2 thumbs up. But not Aliens. Aliens didn't get 2 thumbs up. Predator didn't get 2 thumbs up. Die Hard didn't get 2 thumbs up, but Speed 2 Cruise Control got 2 thumbs up. You'll get more of that later. But yeah, Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves had great chemistry, which there was no chemistry in Speed 2. And of course, Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves worked together again in a film called The Lake House, which I didn't mind that film, actually. You also had Dennis Hopper as the villain. I thought he did a great job as the villain. Sort of the mad bomber type. I thought Dennis Hopper, may he rest in peace, I thought he did a great job playing this character. Wasn't too over the top. He was fun to watch. Jeff Daniels playing Keanu Reeves' partner, which I guess in the original idea, the Dennis Hopper character was supposed to die at the beginning of the film, and then the villain you find out is Jeff Daniels' character. The Jeff Daniels character, which really enough, his character's named Harry, and then Dumb and Dumber, Jeff Daniels' character's named Harry. Was Dumb and Dumber 94? or 95. I can't remember. It was around the same time as this, I think. I could be wrong. Could be not. I can't remember when Dumb and Dumber came out. Maybe it was 96. I can't remember. But it was around that same time. So it's weird. Both characters, two was Harry. Both of them were named Harry. But anyway, Jeff Daniels, he was supposed to be. You were supposed to find out that there's a switch, and who you think is the partner. Like you'd have the Mad Bomber at the beginning when he blows himself up. He actually did die, and you think it's Dennis Hopper's character, but then in fact it's the switcheroo. It's Jeff Daniels' character. It's the partner of Keanu Reeves. And weirdly enough, the writer and the producer did that in Hard Rain because you had Randy Quaid, who was the sheriff who you think is the good guy, and then they did a switcheroo as the bad guy. And that's one of the things in Hard Rain I didn't care for. I don't buy that. So I'm glad that they just stuck with the villain, Dennis Hopper, and Jeff Daniels being the partner. And apparently Jeff Daniels, during the making of the film, thought this was a piece of shit. Or thought it was going to be a piece of shit, but then afterward he changed his mind. But he thought working it. It's like, oh, gee, what are we making here? But, he was mistaken. Joe Morton, who's been in Terminator 2, and I really like this guy as an actor, the brother from another planet. He does a good job as sort of the lieutenant of the SWAT LAPD. Alan Ruck as one of the passengers. Alan Ruck, I always remember as Matthew Broderick's buddy in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and he does a good job. And also this guy who plays this big guy named Ortiz. I thought that actor did a good job as well. And I think the cast did great. The score by Mark Mancina. Did I say it right? Mark Mancina. Yeah. Mark Mancina did a great job on the score. The score is fantastic. I mean, it's a very memorable. Dun, 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 dun. Ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 da. Da 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 da. Anyway, great score, fits the film very well. That's what's missing in a lot of action films today. A lot of things are missing. I mean, that's what's sad watching this film again. This came out in 1994. This film cost about 30 million bucks. And to be honest, it looks at least twice that amount. I've seen films that cost $100 million, and they don't have as much energy, excitement, action, entertainment, fun, thrills as this movie. And those films cost, 3 times as much as this film. And that's fucking sad. You don't see films like this anymore. You don't see action films like this anymore. I mean, think about it. Yeah, great concept. A bus that can't go below 50 miles per hour. I mean, even the title, Speed. It's simple, but you remember it, and it tells the movie. Speed, one word. You know what it is. It's about speed. As Billy Idol at the song, which I don't mind that song. I know even the writer, Graham Yost, and the producer, Mark Gordon, make fun of the song. Which I like the Billy Idol song. Give me what I need, yeah, grease lightning. I like that song. But this film, I have no problems with this film. Is it realistic? No. But if you think about it, neither is Die Hard, and neither are a lot of action films. But I think it's filmed very well. I think the camera work is very well done. It's not choppy. You have great pans of the bus, the locations. You see that Keanu Reeves did a lot of his own stuff, even driving, which I'll get to, and narrowly missing cars left and right, which I'll get to. It just a lot of great stunt work. Special effects are very well done, with a great premise, solid cast, very memorable lines of dialogue, like "Pop quiz, hotshot," or "Pop quiz, asshole." You ever gun with a hair trigger pointed at your head? What do you do? What do you do? Or when Dennis Hopper before that, "Pop quiz, hotshot." There's a bomb on the bus, and just a lot of memorable stuff in this. I mean, and another thing I really liked about this, it has a 3-act structure that I can see very plain as day, and that's not a bad thing. It's like 3 movies joined into one, and to me it's not jarring. The first act is 3-act structure, and I can see it perfectly. The first act is the elevator. The second act, which is the longest, is the bus. The third act is the subway. And I disagree with the writer Graham Yost and producer Mark Gordon it, that you didn't need the subway, that it should have ended with the bus. I'm sorry, I like the subway sequence. And Graham Yost, I know you wrote the film, but hey, Joss Whedon came in to have to punch up your script, so I give credit to Joss Whedon. I don't give him credit for Alien Resurrection or Cabin in the Woods, but I'll give Joss Whedon credit for Speed. For punch up dialogue and stuff. I give credit to that, as well as the cast and stuff. And I thought, again, for a first film, Jan de Bont did a great job. And then he followed this up with Twister, which I really enjoy Twister. And actually, Jan de Bont was going to do Godzilla after this. After Speed, he was going to do Godzilla. But ironically enough, they said, you can't do Godzilla because this is the budget you want. And we can't go above it. Weirdly enough, in 1998, the budget was even higher. So, and at the end of the day, they could have gone with that budget. Just that budget was either the same or higher when Roland Emmerich did his Godzilla film. So, at the end of the day, Jan de Bont could have done that, but that's how it goes. That's time goes. Um, so he decided to do Twister instead. I said, okay, fine, I'm not going to do Godzilla, I'm going to do Twister. Twister is a film I want to review sometime too, because I might review that after the Speed 2. I might review that after, because I know a lot of people don't like Twister, even though it was a big hit when it came out, but I still enjoy Twister. I know people complain about special effects, but I'm sorry, for me personally, my opinion, special effects in Twister look better than the shit I've seen last year in some of these movies. Bigger budget movies. I like Twister, and I'm sure a lot of people would disagree. That's fine, but I enjoy Twister. So Speed and Twister, Jan de Bont, wow, okay, cool. Back to back, very fun, big hits, great, popcorn movies. Then Speed 2 fucked it up, and then The Haunting sucked, and then Lord Croft Tomb Raider 2 sucked ass. The Cradle of Life. Yeah, Cradle, because that's where you be crying. It's like, what the fuck, Jan de Bont? What the fuck did you do to your career? It's sad. Because Speed and Twister, I'm like, when I see Speed and Twister, I'm like, wow, I want to get this guy to do an action film for me. But then I see The Haunting and Speed 2, and I went, shit, no, I don't know, should I? And then Tomb Raider 2. And I like the first Tomb Raider, for fuck's sake. Tomb Raider 2 I thought was boring. Speed 2 sucked. I'll get to that. The Haunting remake was horrible. That has bad CG. Or very obvious. Like, nothing's... I like the House on Haunted Hill remake did that shit better than fucking Haunting remake, but anyway, getting back to Speed, I like the fact it was like 3 movies in one movie. I got to get 3 movies. I get to have a great scene with the elevator sequence, a great movie of the bus, and then the subway is a great ending. I think it's a lot of action packed in one movie. I think it's under 2 hours. Yeah, under 2 hours. You get your bang for your buck with this film. I mean, it starts out with that great music. Dun, 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 and Dennis Hopper has these people hostage in an elevator. People trapped in an elevator. He's ready to blow up. And you have Keanu Reeves. I mean, it starts out with that car jumping in the air and landing. And you're like, okay, the film doesn't stop. That's what happened. Speed 2 fucked up on a slow-ass cruise ship. It didn't stop. It didn't start. That's the problem. It never started. There was no speed. It's called cruise control, for fuck's sake. Speed 2, cruise control. When you cruise, you're cruising. Cruising. But yeah, it's called Speed. I talk about that when I talk about Speed 2. Here, it starts off like a rocket. You have a car jumping, and it doesn't stop because you have the stuff in the elevator, which I thought was really well done. When Jeff Daniels and Keanu Reeves goes down, and you have a great dialogue where Jeff Daniels talking about pop quiz. Bad guy has a hostage at an airport. You're 100 feet away. What do? Shoot the hostage. What? Go for the good wound. That way you can't get to the plane with her. You nuts? Shoot the hostage. Which comes into play later. And you have this idea where Keanu Reeves gets his gut feeling something's wrong, and they rig this sort of wrench thing to get up there so that when it gets blown early, the elevator is able to catch it, and they're able to get around, get the hostages out. Really fast-paced, quick suspense, well-edited, executed action sequences, whether it's done with miniatures or whether it's done with practical special effects. Practical. And when if there's a little bit of computers to put like maybe match shots or something, they fit the film, and they didn't. This film only cost like 30 million compared to films that cost triple that, and doesn't have nearly enough action that this film does. I thought the elevator sequence were well done, and find out that oh shit, Dennis Hopper must be around, and they get to him, and even that little sequence where Keanu Reeves is up top and Dennis Hopper hits the elevator button, is ready to crush him. He gets down, and then there's this standoff. And you got good bits of dialogue. I mean, I don't need to go through all the bits of dialogue. Who hasn't seen Speed? If you haven't seen Speed, check it out. You'll see some of the fun dialogue yourself. And then even Jeff Daniels says, shoot the hostage. And of course, Keanu Reeves shoots Jeff Daniels, his partner, in the leg. It's like, you shot me, you fuck. And Dennis Hopper sort of has this amazed look on his face, and he goes out. And then you see an explosion, and you go, oh, okay, he killed himself. But no, it was a ruse, so to speak. I like the award ceremony where Jeff Daniels and Keanu Reeves are talking, and Jeff Daniels is like, can't believe they're giving you a medal for shooting me, you little prick. Harry, you told me to. And I also even like the line later where Jeff Daniels tells him, guts will get you so far and then they'll get you killed. I like this dialogue. And also, that's another thing. This is rated R. Now, is it absolutely gory? No, it doesn't need to be. But it's free-flowing with the dialogue. It doesn't have to hamper itself. When someone gets killed, like when Dennis Hopper at the beginning, before the elevator scene, grabs a screwdriver and jams into someone right here, doesn't have to flinch away. We can see enough, and okay, this guy, Dennis Hopper, means business. Speed 2 is fucking PG-13. That's not the biggest problem with the film, but it's one of them. Fucking had to make it PG-13. Of course, they do that a lot, don't they? And a lot of times it doesn't work. But they never learn. And also, Speed was one of those films that didn't need a sequel. Speed was a self-contained movie, had a beginning, middle, and end, had a 3-act structure. Each one had their set piece, the elevator, the bus, the subway. And it ended perfectly. It ended just fine. And the stuff like when I was talking about the camera work, when Keanu Reeves is getting coffee and you see the camera pan in one motion around him, get into his car, not cutting. It's right here's Keanu Reeves here, and then over here, the bus going by explodes. And he gets the phone call, and you got this, pop quiz, hotshot, there's a bomb on the bus, and you get the gist of it. It's like, oh, this is what the movie's about. Awesome. And he has to get to this bus, and this bus that Sandra Bullock gets on, and so on and so forth. And that's what I mean. The film just keeps at a rapid pace, and it doesn't slow down, which makes sense. It's called Speed. It shouldn't slow down. So it's him trying to get the bus, and he actually hits it. And this was actually an accident I wasn't planning for. He hits the window of the door of the bus, and it breaks. Then he has to get a car, so he gets this guy, Glenn Plummer, which they put in the fucking sequel. Instead of driving a Jaguar or whatever car, he's driving a speedboat. How clever. Speed 2. Feel like I want to spit on the movie. Not this movie, that movie. But anyway, as I was saying, I thought Glenn Plummer was pretty fun. It's like, hey, man, okay, just don't wreck my car, man. It's oh fuck, shit, And this is where you see Keanu Reeves doing the stunts. I mean, he's doing stunts like he's driving, and like there's a car right here, and he moves just right out of the way. And even Glenn Plummer's like, wow, nice move, man. And of course, trying to get attention, tell him that there's a bomb on the bus. The bomb gets armed. Telling Glenn Plummer, ask him, are you insured? Yeah, why? Opens the door, breaks the fucking door of the car with the bus, having to jump from the car into the door of the bus. Get into a fight with the guy who pulls a gun. He's like, "Hey, I'm not here for you." And this is what I'm talking about. Like, I like that Keanu Reeves said that he wanted to play a different character because it works here. He's calling people sir and ma'am, and he's not just 100% wisecrack. I love the John McClane type character. I love that. But it was fine. It wasn't just a ripoff. It was his own character. I thought Keanu Reeves had a bit of charisma. I thought he worked well in this film. Of course, that gets the driver shot, and then Sandra Bullock has to drive, and that's where Keanu Reeves spills the beans that there's a bomb on the bus, and just all the stuff that happens throughout. I mean, the sharp turns, so it's breaking sign after sign after sign, and just wrecking all the sides of these cars. Having to make this right turn, having people go to one side of the bus, and they're turning real hard, and the bus just gets right like this. Uh, the woman who gets so scared that she wants to go out is like, no, you can't. And a bomb explodes. It's just the bomb underneath when you get out of the bus, the little steps. So the poor woman gets pulled under and gets killed. Uh, Jeff Daniels' character finding out who it is and going to this place, and it's like, oh shit, he has this look. He has this great look that sees this light and sort of throws. Like, he knows he's done for, and of course the place blows up, and that's when Keanu Reeves like loses his cool because he hears it, and Dennis Quaid, not Dennis Quaid. If it was Dennis Quaid, that'd be an interesting villain too in this kind of movie. But Dennis Hopper says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. Harry didn't make it." And the way Keanu Reeves sort of says, "You motherfucker!" Like, know, I forget the actual dialogue. I'm gonna kick your fucking ass. He doesn't say that, but the gist of it, like, I'm gonna rip your fucking spine out, something like that. I thought he did a really good job. He's just losing his cool, but just all this stuff going on. You have him getting off the bus and going under, getting that little ridge and going under, and looking at the bomb, and then these flaps dislodge it, and he's trying to hang on. They're trying to get him out of there, and then the passengers on the bus helping him out. You have the sequence where, of course, the jump. Yes, is it realistic? No, but neither. There's a lot of movies, but it's fun. I thought it was handled. It was edited. It was filmed. It was the music, the acting, everything put together to make you believe it. Even though it would never happen. A bus would not be able to jump that far, but it looks good. Great cast, great music, editing, the way it's built up has a great build up, and it looks good, and the way they did it, very well done. If there's computer work touches, it's not noticeable. They actually jumped a real bus, not over a pit, but they jumped a real bus, and then they did little touches, not noticeable. Those are the best effects for computers when you don't notice with your eyes. And most of this shit was practical, real explosions, real buses. Even miniature stuff, which is really well done, like in the subway stuff. Still holds up. This is back in 1994. You have films that a year ago they came out and they don't hold up. This is from 1994. I just realized 94 to 20 years ago. Holy shit. This was 20 years ago. 94 to 2004. 2004 to 2014. Holy shit. This is 20 years ago. 20 fucking years ago, and it still holds up. Oh, one bit of funny dialogue when they find out there's a gap in the freeway. This guy tells Joe Morton. Joe Morton's like, "What? What do you mean a gap?" And looks at his map. "What are you talking about? It's here on the map. It's here on the goddamn map." I guess they fell behind. I love Joe Morton's reaction. Like, "You're fired. Everyone's fucking fired." Get me closer. I just like, "You're fired. Everyone's fucking fired." I like that reaction. I thought it was pretty funny. Which you can only get away in an R-rated movie. But a lot of stuff with the bus, a lot of stuff anything they could do with the bus, they could. Narrowly getting this and that. Hidden this thing that you think there's a baby in the crib, but it's just cans. Kids are in the way, just anything. Hidden the side of a car, and the car careens up and over. just really well shot, exciting, adrenaline pumping, keeps going, great score, great cast, great bad guy, great good guy. I keep saying great a lot, but that's why it's called one of the greatest action films ever. It makes sense. It deserves it. And I would love to again. I would love to see. Has a lot of good features in the DVD. I would like to see a new retrospective documentary with these guys talking about the film today. I mean, it's 20 years later. Why not? It's 20 years later. Get these guys together 20 years later. It could be a fucking special on TV. It could be, something on YouTube. I don't care. Just, something. But anyway, the whole scene is really well done. And then, finding out that there's a camera attached to it and making a loop so that, Dennis Hopper gets fooled and then you can get the passengers out. And then having to rig it so that Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves can get from under the bus. And I like the way the music like sliding away to safety while the bus careens into uh, this airplane, and which for those wondering, of course, the airplane is empty. If I can talk right. Sorry, I get so excited talking about speed I can't help it. See, this is why I like doing my time watching good action movies. Makes me smile, makes me happy. That's why I like doing. That's why I go back to these older movies, because I'm sorry. You could call me a nostalgic. No movie has come close to films like Speed in today's age. I'm sorry. We agree to disagree in that case. There's not a film that's come out recently that comes close to Speed. Maybe Dread or The Ray Redemption, but I love Speed. I love Speed a lot. I don't hate Speed, but I love Speed. And then I love the subway sequence. Sandra Bullock gets taken. Dennis Hopper takes her to the subway. Keanu Reeves gets there narrowly getting into the subway train. Having that fight with Dennis Hopper, and Dennis Hopper's like, I'm smarter than you. I'm smarter than you. Great death for a bad guy. He lifts his head up, and one of those lights at the top of the subway thing knocks Dennis Hopper's head off. And you see it. You see the head get knocked off. I like Keanu's line. Yeah, well, I'm taller. I like that. And it shows Keanu Reeves' character when Sandra Bullock's character is handcuffed so she can't get out of there. And the controls have been shot out so he can't stop it. So he decides to go faster. Again, makes sense for Speed. For a movie called Speed, it goes faster to jump the rails of the subway. He stays there. He doesn't leave the girl behind. He stays there like a hero should. And then a lot of the stuff at the end is done with miniatures, and it looks really good. That's why I think miniatures should be used more, because they look good. They look real. They look more real than CGI, because it is real. It is real things blasting. It is real things blowing up. It is real things ricocheting left, right, and center. You cannot get more real than real. I find it funny that some people say, well, CGI is better. You cannot get more real when it's really there. Whether it be practical suits, blood squibs, or miniatures. It's real. You can't get more real than something that's physically there. If I show you this, and then I have a CGI of this case, this is better because it's really there. In your face. It's theirs. You cannot get more real than real. You see this? No, because it's CGI. You see this? Yes, because it's really there. I'm sorry, I got hyped up because, this bullshit today of only CGI and only CGI blood and only CGI shit. No miniatures, no practical suits, no practical effects, no practical explosions, even though it's real. I know it's a movie, it's fake, but you cannot get more real than real. Was something real breaking up, that looks better than CGI breaking up. So I like the way it's done, and then you have the real part of the subway train breaking out into daylight. I like the line that they say at the end where, a reference to what Sandra Bullock had told him earlier, that relationships based on stressful events don't always work out. And she goes, well, I guess we'll have to base it on sex then. And he's like, Yes, ma'am. And then they kiss. Wide shot. Movie ends with the musical score and then the Billy Idol song. And of course, it's bullshit. Speed 2 because Keanu Reeves didn't want to do it. He's like, fuck this. I'd rather either tour with my band or do the movie called Devil's Advocate, which is a better movie than Speed 2. Or, hey, the script fucking sucks, and it did. It was a dud, and it did. And then, oh yeah, I left Jack. Like, Jack and me broke up. What? You and Keanu Reeves broke up, in the sequel? That doesn't make any sense. That's bullshit. Sequel bullshit, of course. But anyway, to me, Speed 2 doesn't fucking exist. I saw it. Fuck that movie. Doesn't exist. This film exists. You can say that, Sandra Bullock dumped Jason Patrick's ass, went back to Keanu Reeves, because the sex was good, and there you go. She's now with Jack. And no Speed 3. Don't need Speed 3. I don't think there's ever been a talk of Speed 3 anymore. But no Speed 3. No fucking reboots. No fucking remakes. Speed is what you need. Adrenaline pumping, fast paced, fun, thrilling, action packed, great bad guy by Dennis Hopper. Keanu Reeves did a good job. He did a really good job. Very likable hero. Not a John McClane ripoff. Sandra Bullock. See, in the sequel, Sandra Bullock was like, had nothing to do, and she seemed more bimbo-headed or bubble-headed. Here, she has more to do because she's driving the bus for most of the film. And then her dialogue is more peppy or more funny or more likable character in this one. And that's one she doesn't have anything to do, and a shitty script or shitty dialogue or nothing to do kind of hurts. Here, she has something to do all the time, and her performance was good. Speed 2, not so much. But one more thing I have to say about Speed. Speed, it kicks ass. That's probably what we do. Speed kicks ass. A movie review. That's probably what it is. Because it does kick ass. It's a really cool idea. Good dialogue. Great villains. Great heroes. Great action. Very well done. Fast paced. It's under 2 hours. Never got bored at all. Big smile on my face. Definitely one of the great action films out there. It was great to watch this again. And if you haven't seen Speed in a while, check it out. Check out Speed again. Because this is what action films used to be in the 90s, folks. These kind of movies. As opposed to action films today. This is what we used to get for action films. Not anymore. Not schizophrenic, ADD editing. Wall-to-wall to wall-to-wall to wall CGI. Characters that we don't give a fuck about. No. Cool idea. Pretty much an original idea. Practical, really well done special effects. Stunt work. Very capable cast. Good dialogue, which I give credit to Joss Whedon for punching up the script for Graham Yost. Entertaining movie. Film that's easy to rewatch. So, one more thing I say about Speed, other than awesome movie, it kicks a lot of ass, great to watch again. And if you've never seen Speed, highly recommend it. It's a great movie. Love all three parts. It was cool to see like 3 little movies in one. The elevator, the subway at the end, and then the big bus scene in the middle. Great set pieces. 3 great set pieces. And they all work well. So anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. And see you later. Bye-bye.